Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Greetings to all of you. I usually say greetings from the trenches of social justice. I hope we are going to have a great day today. My name is Dlodlo. As the post has come out saying, I am the director of uLoyiko NPC. I am just going to give a few, just maybe a minute or two for people who want to join the live. And then I'll start with my short presentation or my short talk on who, what, and why of uLoyiko. So I'm just gonna give just a few 2 minutes for people to come in, and then I'll start with my talk. But yeah, you can stay tuned. We'll be starting shortly. Just maybe 2 minutes for those who want to come in, so that we may start. All right. I think I can start with our talk. As I had said in the beginning, my name is Dlodlo. I am the director of uLoyiko NPC, and I'll give you a brief about uLoyiko NPC so that you may understand who we are, what we stand for, and where we hope to go, and some of the things that we have done to date. So uLoyiko NPC is a non-profit company that started in 2016. It started under the auspices of Sipesaki Youth Organization, which is an organization that is in Samora Machel, Cape Town, South Africa, a township that is ridden by many social ills like the issues of drug abuse, the issues of early teenage pregnancy. It falls under one of the places that is known as the murder capital of South Africa. So there are a lot of social ills in the community, and the young people there decided that they were going to contribute in alleviating the load that the society was having, the load of dealing with all the social ills, especially the issues of crime, the issues of early teenage pregnancy, the issues of violence. And they decided that they were going to have a space that was a safe space for young people to come and to express their creative self through poetry, drama, music, dance, and puppetry. So Sipesaki then was started with that idea to create a safe space for young people to express themselves, for young people to, or rather to be a launching pad for young people to find themselves and be saved from the social ills of the community and contribute meaningfully to the community. And this is where this uLoyiko was then birthed, was given birth. It was raised or given birth in such an environment under Sipesaki Youth Organization. It was in 2016. Then later the uLoyiko became now a standalone project or organization. First it was a project of Sipesake Youth Organization. Then it became a standalone organization, and it was registered to be a standalone organization. So it started in Samara Machel under Sipesake Youth Organization. Now, as I say, that it started in such in such an environment where Sipesake wanted to create a space for young people to find their voices, for young people to express themselves through art, for young people to contribute meaningfully to the society. Then uLoyiko decided that they were going to contribute meaningfully in through the project of uLoyiko. Rather, we wanted to contribute meaningfully to the issues of social justices. Hence, uLoyiko, the Gukurahundi genocide play was formulated with an intention to conscientize people around the issues of genocides, around the issues of social justice, around the issues of crimes against humanity. And it shows specifically the Gukurahundi genocide for a number of reasons. One, because the Gukurahundi genocide was the issue that had not been dealt with. The perpetrators were still working with impunity without anyone, speaking power to them, and the victims were still being victimized in other forms. So we decided that that was the right kind of subject to deal with, because there was a lot that was still hidden, and there was a lot that was still needed to be done. But then it was started with that specific subject, or that specific issue, so that we can find a voice to speak to issues of social justice. Now, the vision of uLoyiko NPC, uLoyiko non-profit company, is an Africa that is united in its diversity, where everyone is treated equally, without discrimination, despite their race, their creed, their religion, or their gender, or sexuality. So we want a society, we envision a society that is free, that is united in its diversity, that is cohesive in its diversity, and when nobody is ill-treated because of their difference. And our mission, basically, it is to use theater as a medium of advocacy in issues that are related to social justice, and to speak to issues such as genocide, xenophobia, and Afrophobia within the African context, and in our instance, in our immediate instance, the South African context and Cape Town, to be specific, but as a general agenda to the worldwide community. And our goal as the NPC, it is to be a center of innovative leadership, in matters of advocacy. We really want to create an environment where young people can come, just as in Sipesake, can come express themselves, but in expressing themselves, take the baton of dealing with issues of social justice, because these are issues that are very dear, and if people don't have independence, if people are not treated equally, if people are abused, then it hinders them in many issues. So we want our young people who come and join uLoyiko NPC to become agencies of advocacy for social justice, and to challenge powers that be, and to challenge agents of change, and also to be that agent of change in dealing with issues of prejudice and oppression of other people. So that's basically our goal, mission, and vision summarized. And as I said, that we decided that we're going to take the issue of the Gukurahundi genocide and use that as our medium of communication, or as our tool of communicating such issues. And we wrote a play that is called uLoyiko, the Gukurahundi Genocide. Okay, now uLoyiko is a Xhosa word that means fear, and the reason why we chose the word fear, uLoyiko, initially it was just uLoyiko, then we added the Gukurahundi Genocide at a later stage. The reason why we wanted to talk about fear was that we wanted, especially when it comes to the Gukurahundi Genocide, we understand that there was a lot of red tape, if I should say, or there was a lot of silencing people, with violence in speaking about the Gukurahundi Genocide. So we wanted to encourage people to break the silence that was caused by fear. People did not want to speak about the subject because they feared victimization, and even the perpetrators were using fear as a means of controlling and running people. And we understood also that the reason why they were doing that, it was because they themselves were led by fear. And we understand that the Gukurahundi Genocide is one of the reasons why Zimbabwe is in a state that it is in today. The people that were in power, the perpetrators of the genocide, did not want to relinquish power, because they knew that if they did relinquish power, they'll then have to face the music and be prosecuted or persecuted for their crimes against humanity. So they decided to stay in power at all cost, even at the detriment of the country itself, even sacrificing the country and the future of the country itself, because they so much wanted to stay in power, because they were afraid to be persecuted. So fear is the theme of the production, and we want people to break the silence that is induced by fear. We want people to be able to speak, openly, specifically about the Gukurahundi Genocide, and we do not want them to be ruled by fear. So we wanted to then use this as a medium again. This word keeps coming back. To empower people to break the silence out of fear. So we wrote the play, and we premiered the play in June 2016, in Hillbrow Theatre. This was a very iconic moment for us as the organization, for a number of reasons. Earlier in the year, I think it was in March, April, we had a commemoration for the victims of the Gukurahundi Genocide, and according to our understanding, it was the first one that was held in South Africa. There may be other people that have held one before us, but we were not aware of. So that was a groundbreaking moment for us. Secondly, the play that we wrote and produced, according to our understanding, also was the first. And the most important thing for us was that we wrote this play after having gone through a time of research, and we took the play to Hillbrow Theatre, understanding that Hillbrow is one of the places in South Africa where a lot of Zimbabwean nationals are found. So we wanted to take the play there and present it to them as an offering, that this is our offering, this is the work that we want to do in order to work and work with you in trying to fight the scourge of tribalism, and the scourge of a genocide that took place in Matebeleland, and understanding that the people of Matebeleland and Midlands were still being marginalized. So we wrote the play, we took it to the people of Matebeleland, and what was iconic about the moment was the groups that were represented in the event that we ran. There were political groups from Matebeleland, from your MRPs, your ZAPUs, your MLP, MLF. Those groups were invited. The political groups were invited. There were groups like Ibeshu Ligazulu, Ibutho Lencama, which are groups that hold a stake, if I should say, in the politics or the social issues of Matebeleland. We had people like Moses Mzila. We had people like Dumiso Tabengwa. We had people like Abo Guduza. So we had a number of people that came to the some I may not remember, that came to this event, and each and every one of them embraced this play. It was in its rudimentary form at that time. It is not the play that it is today. We presented it to them and we asked them, what do they want to see in the play? How do they want to be represented in the play? And they gave us their views, and they gave us their ideas, and some of those ideas were infused. And from what the play was to what the play is today, it is a totally different play. And even the issues that are being raised, some of the issues that are being raised in the play are different from what it was today. It is a hard-hitting, a play that speaks power to the truth. It calls people by their names, and it asks questions that beg answers. And so we believe that this is a play that that was formed, cooked by the people of Matebeleland, because truly they have a say. And some of the stories that are in the play, they are actually true stories that were given to us by the people of Matebeleland, by the victims themselves. One of the pieces that we have in our play, a central piece, is an ingika that was given by one of the victims of the genocide. And we are told that in that ingika there were 5 children that were crushed when the grandmother apparently heard that we're doing this play. She said that she wanted to give us this piece as a way of saying that we appreciate the work that you're doing. This is the actual murder weapon that was used against some of our children, and it is one of the signs, or rather of the gifts that people have given us, to say to us that the work that you are doing, we appreciate it. Go ahead, continue doing this work. We have had some of our members go to Zimbabwe. They have gone to Gadade. They have gone to Balagwe. So some of the places that the genocide took place, some of our members have gone as a means of finding research and trying to tell the true stories of the people of Matebeleland. And from the launch that we did in 2016 in Johannesburg, Hillbrow Theatre, we then came to Cape Town. We ran another series in Joseph Stone Theatre. Then from then we went also and worked at a theatre arts admin, and from then we went to Market Theatre. We also did a run in Baxter Theatre. We joined. We have been into a number of festivals where our play has been recognized and has been awarded, has been given awards for for its authenticity and also the issues that we're dealing with. And in so some of the festivals that we have gone to the Zabalaza Festival, we have gone to the Youth Expressions Festival, which is in the Market Theatre in Pretoria, and in June this year we were supposed to go to San Diego Fringe Festival. That was July, and in June we're supposed to be in Hollywood Fringe Festival as well. And we have gotten quite a number of invites from people around the world. We have been invited in Scotland, Edinburgh University. Unfortunately, we're not able to make it because we didn't have funds. We have been invited in Tanzania. Some of our members have been to Tanzania, and a number of times we've been invited to Zimbabwe, and the trips have been cancelled out of security issues. And sometimes something just comes up, then the trip has been cancelled. But we are so eager to take our play to outside South Africa and showcase this masterpiece that every time when we showcase it, people are really moved, and some are shocked that there is such a thing that happened, especially within our proximity here across the borders, because this genocide, many of the people do not know about it, and they do not know the issues behind and how those issues have impacted them. Because for us, we understand that the genocide was not only against the people of Matebeleland, but it was also the genocide was there also to destabilize the movement of Umkhonto weSizwe. It was there to destabilize the ANC. It was there to destabilize the liberation of South Africa. That's why South African youths are pushing this subject and speaking about this subject, to say that the genocide in Matebeleland did not only affect the people of Matebeleland, but our brothers and sisters died in Matebeleland, and the genocide delayed South Africa's independence because they wanted to destabilize the movement of Umkhonto weSizwe and the Zebra within Matebeleland, and that delayed South Africa's independence. We also understand that the genocide was sponsored also by the South African apartheid government. So for us, it is not only just speaking about that issue for the people of Matebeleland, but also it is to speak about that issue and show how it affected even South Africa. We also understand that the genocide also, now South Africa is speaking about the issues of land, and we understand that the movement was Umkhonto weSizwe and Zebra were pushing that the indigenous people of South Africa should get land, and we understand that the Lancaster House negotiations, as well as the CODESA negotiations, robbed us of the land, and the genocide was there so that it kills the issue of the pursuit of land, because white people understood that the 0 hour was coming and that they were going to be defeated and they were going to lose land. And because they did not want to lose land, they quickly called for these negotiations to destabilize the movement. So us speaking about these matters, we are not speaking about the past, but we are speaking about the issues that are now affecting us in the present future, and also will affect our children in the near future if we do not speak about such issues. So it is not only grandstanding. It is not only taking a subject that is controversial so that we may gain a voice, or we may gain a space to speak, but it is speaking about issues of bread and butter. The reason why the country of Zimbabwe is as it is now, as I said, and also how it has affected South Africa as well. It is because of that genocide, and people should understand the things that the things of the past, so that we may avoid them as we move in the future, as we form social cohesive communities in Africa. And we understand that researchers and scientists have said that the issues of ethnicity are some of the issues that are going to hinder the progress of Africa, because Africa is now a politics of ethnicities, and this is what we are trying to avoid, that it should not be a politics of ethnicity, but it should be it should be the politics of the people. It should be all about driving justice, and that people should be treated equally and be given fair opportunities. So when we speak about these issues, it is not only so that we have a controversial issue that we are talking about, that people can listen to, and come to the theater and say, wow, this is a gripping story, and people cry and we go home. So for us to be able to extend that, we do not only do theater, we have done campaigns. We did a march on the Human Rights Day here in South Africa. We did a march, and we were speaking to the issues of xenophobia, and our march was attended by a lot of people, even the Umkhonto weSizwe and a lot of movements from Zimbabwe attended our march, and we were speaking about Gukurahundi. We were singing and calling powers that be to speak about such issues, and we had delegates from Umkhonto weSizwe coming and speaking about such issues, and still addressing the issues of the past, that the people of Matebeleland were cheated and they were ill-treated, and they're still being ill-treated, and that something needs to be done to change the status quo. And if the current continues, then it's not going to be good. I remember when we went for our first launch of uLoyiko, we had a one-on-one with Dumiso Dabengwa, and we also had a one-on-one with Moses Mzila. And there was a question that I gave to them, both of them, that so if things carry on the way they are carrying on, the people of Matebeleland being disenfranchised, the people of Matebeleland being marginalized, their land being taken, their institutions being taken, the education system being bastardized, and all these things. Recently we had an issue where Magwekwe police station was built wrongly. There was a book, and a book that was spelled that had been wrong spellings. And my question was, with all these things happening, with the young people of Matebeleland running away from the country, and their positions or spaces being occupied by the other race, the other tribe, what will be Matebeleland in the next 20 years? And it was very sad to hear the answers that they gave, that it's going to be the people of Matebeleland are going to be marginalized, and they are going to be extinct if things carry on the way they are carrying on. So for us, when we speak about such issues, we understand that it is a matter of life and death. Hence, we speak with conviction, and we speak the truth as it is, and that has landed us, threats, and we have stayed the course. We have decided that this is the truth that we are standing on, and we will not deter because we have been threatened. Remember, uLoyiko, we are saying people should break away from fear, and we will stay the course. We have been offered bribes and we refused. We are not going to take blood money. We are going to speak truth to power. So it especially the time when we started the campaign, it was not as it is easier this time. At the time, Robert Gabriel Mugabe was still the leader, and still well alive, and people were not speaking openly about the subject. We were told that we're going to be killed, we were told that we're going to be abducted, and we risked it all, and even went as far as to find truth, to speak truth to power. And we have never feared to speak the truth. If you can go check on YouTube some of the videos that we have that are there, that we have spoken on newsrooms, you will realize that we have never been afraid to speak the truth and to call the murderers by their names and to call the rapists, the arsonists by their names. We have been truthful to speaking the truth. We have stayed because we have never deterred. So that's why even our company today is called uLoyiko NPC. It's a non-profit company. We want to break the fear, the scourge of fear, because fear paralyzes people, makes them not to be able to do anything, and we want to break away that. And if we want to do that, we need also to break away from it. I guess for us, what we fear is that if we do not speak, then it makes it difficult for the next generation to speak. We at least want to do our part. As I said, that we did not only do theater, we have spoken. There are articles that we have written. We have a research paper that we have written about our findings, and also we have also partnered with other organizations that are not specifically in theater. We have run 2 events, Human Rights Cup. In 2018 it was in Joburg, and in 2019 it was here in Cape Town, together with Matebeleland Confederacy, Football Confederacy. And this is calling different countries without states, or countries where they are being marginalized, and form a football tournament. So this is what we have done. Somalia has been invited. Last year we had Somalia here, we had Matebeleland here, and the other year it was also like that. So we try to get ourselves in spaces where we can speak the truth and advocate for the people of Matebeleland. And if there are other projects that people feel like they want us to join and be part of, we are more than welcome to be part of those projects. We are not limited to theater only. We have also produced a number of songs. So we're trying to get to each and every space that we possibly can get into, to speak of the subject and to tell the truth as we know it. And and we have also partnered with the 1893 Mtwaga's Human Rights Restoration Movement. We have partnered with them in a number of projects. They've been so helpful, and even Mtwaga's Review, they were one of the first organizations that embraced us and gave us, impetus, gave us strength to say, we hear you, we know that you are there, go on, push. And it is such organizations that need to come together, and because we are dealing with the same issue but from different angles, and as we come together and we find that sweet spot where we can work together, there can be synergy, and then we are building up, and then we can speak truth to power. So it is important that people work together. For those who want to follow us, we have got a Facebook page, uLoyiko. Just go and search uLoyiko. That's our Facebook page. Then we have got also a Facebook group, uLoyiko, the Gukurahundi Genocide. You can also check it. Our website is www.uloyiko.org. All of our information you'll find there, and some of the things that we have done that I did not mention, you may find there. Some of the projects that we have done, a clear picture of everything that we do. You'll find it in our website. But all in all, what I want to say is that we can no longer remain silent. We can no longer remain fearful. We cannot say that no, that country is gone to the dogs. there's nothing we can do, there's nothing we can change, it's far gone, let's just go wherever we are, and just do whatever we're doing and forget the issues of social justice. I do believe that is being despondent, and that is being indifference, and indifference is one of the worst kind of things that we can do to ourselves. We can't remain indifferent, because indifference does not only make us not to act, but it gives impetus, it gives power to the one that is abusing to continue abusing. I usually say that during the time where they said Zimbabwe was the bread basket of the world, it was the very time that the people of Matebeleland were running away. They were being killed, women were being raped, babies were smashed, their heads were smashed against the walls, and it was called the bread basket of the world. And I remember engaging pastor, the pastor that was busy with this flag. He said that the 1980s is the best, is the closest that we ever came to the Zimbabwe that we wanted. He said the 1980s were the closest that we ever got to the Zimbabwe that we desired. So I asked him and said, if you say it is the closest that you ever got to the Zimbabwe that you desired, do you know that during that time, it was the very same time that the people of Matebeleland had the worst kind of time? So in essence, what I'm trying to say is that ever since independence, the people of Matebeleland have been victims, and they are still victimized today. And to say that we cannot do anything and have indifference, then we give power to the abusers to continue abusing. It was the best, he said, that it was the best they ever, rather it was, I'm trying to paraphrase this in a way that I'll make sense. So the 1980s were the best they ever got to the best that they wanted. So in essence, because they did not speak against the marginalization of the people of Mtwagazi or the people of Matebeleland during that time, it meant that they gave, the abusers a time to learn how to abuse, to master their art of abusing. And today the whole country is being abused because at a time when they were supposed to speak, they kept silent. And now that abuse is coming to them, they are now trying to cry, but there's nothing that they are able to do now, because when they had power to do, and when they had power to change things, they refused. So also with us, we can't be indifferent and say that, I know there's nothing we can do. We need to take action and speak to those that are in power, and call for justice. And as we do that, we give power to other people to speak. Our matters get to be placed in discussions that they'll never be featured because we were silent. So let's start talking, and this is our contribution. Uloiko is our contribution in the struggle for human rights, in the struggle for social justice, and we hope that the organization can grow in its influence. It can grow also in its knowledge. It can grow also in its exponentially in its numbers and the projects that we get to do. Since it is a project that is based mostly in theater, we are having it hard currently because of the coronavirus and the lockdown regulations. But the truth, we shall, every opportunity that gives us, every space that gives us an opportunity to speak about the subject, will forever take it. And so you can go to all our social media platforms and find more information about that. But the last thing I would like to say is that we can never be silent. We can never be kept crippled or by fear. We need to speak, and it is when we begin to speak that actions start to happen. actions sometimes follow our words, and emotions follow our words. So the more we vocalize, then our actions will follow. Let's not be silent. Let's speak, and let's fight this fight up until the people of Matebeleland and the people generally in Africa are treated equally, not ill-treated because they are of a different ethnicity. Thank you very much, and I would like to thank in 1893 Mtwagazi Human Rights Restoration Movement for this opportunity, and the work that you are doing is great. We have found a lot of resources from these platforms that we then use to in our plays, that we then use in our discussions wherever we have discussions. So I would like to encourage people to stay with such organizations, because they ground you and they give you context, and many times they give you relevance. Keep on aligning yourself with the right kind of people. Thank you very much, and have a great day. I sign out. Bye.